Hey guys, so in this video, I'll talk about cars and questionable laws. And that's about as much of the song as I'm gonna use. Hasbro is always quite trigger happy. Speaking of trigger happy, this is Crosshairs from... wait, what? So the box says The Last Night, but I'm gonna talk about Age of Extinction. You'll get your due someday. So, Age of Extinction. I hate it. On an emotional level, and just how I personally feel, it's by far my least favorite of the Transformers films. I don't like the new designs, I don't like Markiplier, and it just feels like a dirty stain on the whole franchise. And yet it made oh so much. It was a dark time in Transformers, and I hope we don't go back to it anytime soon. But well, we probably don't have the time for a whole movie review. I don't either. I have a job and friends to go to. So let's get to the actual guy himself. So, this is Crosshairs, and his design is fine. Which is a shame, because the figure recreates his appearance quite well. Mainly, I should say. This ain't great, but we'll get to it. But yeah, general sculpt work and paint work is quite nice. It's a movie figure, so it's rebuilt to hell and back. Like the arms, torso, and head specifically are on point. Hell, the forearms are sculpted differently. The torso is... I don't know, but it's designed well. And then there's the face. I don't like the realistic look. And that goes for all of the movie Transformers. I don't like how they look like us. You know, humans. He looks like an underpaid asshole who works at Starbucks. And I don't even go to Starbucks. Although, the goggles are at least a little cool. An asshole is pretty self-explanatory for his personality. And it's about time that I should get to the issues, because there's a few. And they start below the waist. From a first glance, it looks fine. But just look more carefully. Yeah, the legs are really thin. I find this more funny rather than anything else. Like, this isn't a terrible issue that needs to be addressed immediately. And it's not really noticeable, if you couldn't already tell. But then here comes the second of my issues. What a backpack. I know the vehicle junk has to go somewhere, but this is a little, let's just say, unorganized. I get what they were trying to do with the whole trench coat thing he had in the film, but I think the original toy of this did it better. Side note, I used to own that original toy, although it was sold off. Either that or just ran away. Anyway, back to this guy. I think what my main issue is with the backpack is that it just sits way too far down. And it doesn't really hold together that well. I mean, you can see for yourself, right? If you can't, then I hate to tell you this, but you can't see. Also, ain't this just fun? Did they not have any extra glue? And while I'm handling the figure, I will say it does feel pretty nice. The plastic quality is pretty good, although it isn't amazing. And what also isn't that amazing is the posability. Everything is just so limited, whether it be by sculpting or kibble. Ball joints at the feet? Good. The flaps at the front? Bad. The legs in general are just restricted the most. Yeah, the posability just doesn't live up to modern standards. I probably should have just gotten Hot Rod instead, but that's beside the point. As much as I would like to move on, we still have to talk about the accessories. They're not much, but they're quite fitting. You get two of these, like, submachine guns. I'm not American, so I don't know guns. But just plug these into his hands, and now he looks more complete. And I admit, I can see the appeal. So far today, I haven't been too impressed. So let's just get on to the vehicle mode. Now that's a transformation I could only describe as mostly the shell doing the work. Although it was actually pretty fun. Like creating that stop motion, it was fun thinking of how I should go about it. This pops off easily, but whatever. And before I forget, vehicle mode, weapon storage, love it. But what about the vehicle itself? Now, my opinion is going to be a bit one-sided because I've been getting into cars a lot recently, and you are completely free to disagree with my opinion. Which is to say, I love this car mode. It's an excellent recreation of a C7 Corvette Stingray. I totally didn't look that up, and it's a surprise at how amazing this looks, mainly because they've had some difficulty with this car before. You could argue this is 1-to-1 in accuracy. Here's the real car, and here's this. It may not have the metallic paint of the real car, but goddamn does it look sick. Or classy, as I should say. It's about this point in the video where I start complaining about some big issue. But no, there's not many issues here. The arms at the back are a little annoying, but they are far from a problem. The spoiler is still a thing, but I just need to go find some glue. And this kind of leads to my next part. This guy has pinned wheels, which means they roll much more freely. I point this out because a lot of modern Transformers don't have this. I know the reason why is cost cutting, but it is a real shame. When I was younger, I loved, using the cars as cars, rolling them around and all that. And I think you get my point. Crosshairs here is getting my full marks for vehicle mode. The transparent plastic is a bit but what can you do? And oh, size comparisons. We're here already. Let's go with Minicon, Mona, and a Graze. Plus a mouse. And here are the robot mode comparisons, since I forgot earlier. And overall, my thoughts could be pretty much simplified. Robot mode is a bit underwhelming, but the vehicle mode goes all the way. Let's go with a 6 out of 10. And now I'm just gonna give some updates about the channel. I know I've always been a bit slow with uploads, but unfortunately it's probably going to get a bit slower. I already mentioned it in the start of the video, but I did get a job, a full-time one, so I'm not going to have too much time to myself. And I'm quite glad that I'm not really, famous, because I can just do YouTube as a hobby. I'll just make a video whenever I feel like it, and on what I feel like, so you won't see Transformers all the time. And that doesn't mean that I'm not thankful for your subscribing, because I truly am. We're close to 300, but I don't want YouTube to be my job. There's already a lot of Transformers YouTubers and just YouTubers in general trying to shed a spotlight and all that, so I don't want to be trying to jump in the same pool as everyone else. I don't want to go on for too long, so I'll stop here, but all I'll say is thank you all so much.